And here we go. Welcome back to another episode of the Pulse of Ithaca podcast, your go-to for entertainment news and the great outdoors in the greater Ithaca, New York area. We are coming to you today from Studio 1A at the Bike Bar, located at 314 East State Street in Ithaca, New York. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Pete, and joining me is my ever-knowledgeable host, Mikey Swerves. This week, we'll be diving into the latest local music and entertainment news, and in our great outdoors segment, we'll be discussing the cold, harsh reality of winter waterfall hiking. Let's get started. Mike, great to see you.
Good to see you.
We're here. We survived.
We're into February.
We are. We've survived 10 cold weeks of...
Oh, man. It's been so cold.
It has been cold. I did read the other day that we've already passed the cold or the darkest 10 weeks of the year.
Oh,
so
excellent. I was like light out until almost 6 the other day, and that felt really rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. Even when we came down here to Bike Bar today, it was like I was leaving my house. It was light out.
It was 40 degrees today too. I think that's the warmest it's been in like a month.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it felt great.
Yeah, it did feel good. But we've both been making the most of it.
We're trying.
We've been out quite a bit. I've been doing some snowboarding. I'm looking forward to you telling us about some of the frozen waterfall hikes that you've taken.
Yeah.
Coming up in about 20 minutes here. And before we get into the music news, you had mentioned that you made it out to a show recently.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I saw Microbes Mostly, who's a Ithaca band.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
My friend Sebastian had told me about them like maybe about a month or two ago when he was going to one of their other shows and I couldn't make it that night. And then they were playing this benefit over on Deep Dive last Saturday. And man, I really regret not going to that last show with Sebastian because it was so good. I don't know, like being in Ithaca is just like I haven't been to see a lot of punk bands, and it just like it hit me in exactly what I wanted for the night. I don't know. The whole place went off. It was a great mosh pit, stage diving, all the things. And they were a terrific band. So I can't shout out Microbes Mostly enough.
Yeah, awesome. I have not caught them yet, but from what I understand, the hype is real. They put on a great live show, just like you described, high energy, great crowd participation.
Yeah, and like even everyone that I've mentioned it to in Ithaca has been like, oh yeah, those guys have just been getting better and better, and like they're really hitting it right now. I can agree. Like I don't know what it sounded like before this, but I was super into the show last week.
Dude, that's awesome. It's funny. I feel like just a few weeks ago you were telling me about how punk was your scene.
Yeah, well, it's been funny. Like even in our friendship, it's like you know more about jam bands than I will ever know. It's never been my scene. Like I feel like I've always been like tangential to the scene. Like so I know so many great people in Ithaca that are very into the jam band scene. It has just never been who I have been. What I've been into.
Yeah, absolutely. So well, I'm really excited that you were able to catch them, and I'll have to try and get out and see one of those shows with you next time.
Yeah, if they play again, I definitely want to go, and I definitely want to tell everybody that I know at Ithaca, because I think if you're into live music, I think like the energy was fantastic.
Absolutely, that sounds awesome. That's actually a great segue into the first event that I wanted to talk about coming up here in our music and news section, and it's a festival. It's actually happening just a couple of hours away in High Mount, New York. It's the return of the Mountain Jam Music Festival. This is a festival that I first went to back in 2007. It was in Hunter Mountain, New York, They had a great jam band lineup. They actually ran for quite a few years as a jam band lineup, and then they changed the production company and the ownership, and it became not a jam band festival. I'm not exactly sure what it was. I think it was just more mainstream music, more alt music, and I didn't make it to any of those years, but they went on hiatus over COVID, and now they're back in 2025. That's happening June 20th and June 22nd. The original producers, Gary Chetkoff and the Radio Woodstock team, are back. It's about a 3-hour drive from Ithaca. The headlining acts, which I'm really excited about, are Krungbin, Mount Joy, and Goose. All right, those shows are actually those are the headliners for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we've got Krungbin on Friday, Mount Joy on Saturday, and then Goose closing out the festival as a headliner on Sunday. Additional performers include Mo, Joe Roos is Almost Dead, Trampled by Turtles, Michael Franti and Spearhead, Molly Tuttle, Karina Reichman, The Kitchen Dwellers, and many more. So really excited that festival is happening.
What out of those bands, what is the one that you're really excited for?
I would say Krungbin is the top for me, followed by Goose on Sunday, And then Molly Tuttle would be great. Joe Roos is Almost Dead. Trampled by Turtles. Pretty much the whole lineup is like a jam band core. The only band I'm not familiar with is Mount Joy. So that's the only one. Yeah. But the rest of it is all bands that I'm familiar with. So definitely hitting the sweet spot for me for jam bands this summer.
Nice.
All right, what else do we got? Date Theater has a couple of shows coming up. They've got Sunday, February 16th, an evening with Jason Isabel, a night of heartfelt Americana and rock music. On Tuesday, February 25th, they've got Elvis Costello and Steve Niev, legendary singer-songwriter, in an intimate performance. And as previously mentioned, don't forget, Friday, February 7th, we got Jay and Silent Bob's Aural Sex Tour, a live comedy show featuring Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. All those shows are available at stateofithaca.org. So check out their website, get your tickets early. Lots of great music there at the theater.
Are you a Jay and Silent Bob fan?
I am, in the sense that I've definitely seen those movies. I was more into kind of some of the other work by Kevin Smith, like Clerks.
Oh, yeah.
1 and 2.
Mallrats.
Yeah, Mallrats, some of that other stuff. I didn't really do much of this Jay and Silent Bob outside of that, but I have friends who are really looking forward to that show. They've all got tickets. I think it's just a really unique thing that they're doing, where they come and they talk about movies that they've made and they do Q&A with the audience. So it should be a really engaging show.
Yeah, I've seen Kevin Smith speak before, and he's an interesting guy. He's from Central New Jersey. I'm from Central New Jersey. It's also a weird thing to say because people don't consider Central New Jersey a place sometimes. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun night.
Awesome, good stuff. All right, so what else do we have here? Okay, yeah, coming up at Deep Dive. I was looking at their calendar. They have pretty much something going on almost every night of the week.
Yeah.
They do have a couple of nationally touring acts that are coming through. They've got February 20th, they got Melt live in concert. It's an NYC indie band blending Fleetwood Mac vibes with Amuna-style hooks. They're known for their high energy and soulful performances, and as NPR described them, one groovy super organism. So tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the door, 18 plus. Doors are at 8, shows at 9. They've also got a great Bob Marley birthday benefit show happening on Saturday, February 8th. It's a fundraiser for Cayuga Lake waterfront cleanup. The headliners are Double Tiger plus the Notorious Stringbusters. DJ Mike Judah is going to be there from 92 WICB DJing, along with Cha Cha blessing the mic. They're going to have a raffle with festival tickets, merch, and local gift cards. And as always, they have Babe's Burger. They'll be serving Jamaican jerk chicken and more. What else do they have? Oh, Thursday, February 13th, they've got Creole Swamp Crew. That's happening at 8 o'clock. It's a night of authentic Zydeco rhythms and lively dance music. Ruben Moreno fronts that band. He honors Creole Zydeco legend Preston Frank. Tickets for that are $14 in advance and $20 day of show. Music starts at 8 o'clock. And just a reminder, looking at their schedule, they have so much stuff going on almost every night of the week. Monday nights are industry night. That's 5 p.m. to 11. They have $3 off local drabs, $5 margaritas and mules, $12 for a dozen wings. Galactic Mondays start at 9 p.m. and there's a $10 cover for that. Lots of great stuff to check out there. We're so fortunate to have a music venue like Deep Dive here, cranking out music on a nightly basis. All those tickets are available at deepdiveithaca.com.
And Babe's Burgers at Deep Dive too. I do love some Babe's Burgers.
Yeah, me too. You can't beat it. So maybe we'll head over there tonight after the show.
Wings?
It's Monday night. It's on your way home.
Oh.
Also, we've got happening in town this week, Ithaca Loves Teachers, and it's returning February 14th to 28th. It's a 2-week-long celebration. Ithaca area business and attractions unite to host a community-wide celebration honoring pre-K to 12 educators with more than 150 activities, discounts, and events happening throughout Tompkins County. And one of those events is happening right here at the Bike Bar. That is the Ithaca Loves Teacher Week. There's a performance by Rick Manning and friends. Rick Manning is a versatile musician based in Ithaca, New York, known for his skills on the fiddle and mandolin, and he's been active in the local music scene for many years, often collaborating with various artists. Those shows usually start at 7. I believe that's the time for that one. Also coming up on February 27th, we've got Plan Z featuring Zon Marshburn. Plan Z is a collaborative musical project led by drummer Zon Marshburn, The ensemble features talented musicians such as Paul Merrill on trumpet, Mike Stark on keys, and Mark Devakatias on saxophone and flute. So their performances are known for their dynamic energy and musical versatility. Lots of great music happening. Also, we can't go any further without mentioning our
Scuba
good
Bowls.
friends. Yeah, Scuba Bowl 3 it is. Scuba Jerry's playing Liquid State on February 7th. Tickets are $15. The show's from 7 to 10 p.m. Love the early start time. They're actually bringing a light show with them for the first time.
Oh man, is that a Kenny thing?
Yeah, it must be Kenny. I don't know.
I assume.
Yeah, so they're going to have a light show with them and always lots of Hawaiian shirts.
And always lots of Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be debuting a Hawaiian shirt I got for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I don't own one.
Nice.
They still let me into all the Scuba Jerry shows though. Thanks, Mark.
Well, I'll see if I can dig one up for you.
I don't know if I can pull it off, to be honest.
I don't think I can pull it off either, but I'm going to wear the one that I have because my wife bought it for me for Christmas and it actually has pictures of my dogs randomly in different areas of the shirt, but it's a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that sounds fun.
yeah. So
And you have to wear it because your wife got it for you.
that's right. So come hang out with us. We're going to be at Scuba Jerry at Liquid State on February 7th. So, all right. I think that pretty much does it for shows. It's great that it's February. You know, it's kind of a downtime, but there's lots of great music going on. And
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think, it's something to get us out of the house.
absolutely.
Get through the cold.
All right. So we've wrapped up the events. Now we're moving on to the great outdoors section. Really excited
It's been cold.
It has been cold. What did we say at the top of the show here? We'll be discussing the cold, harsh reality of winter waterfall hiking. Kudos to you for getting out as much as you have. I haven't been interested so much in hiking around, but you've been pulling weight for both of us. It looks like, just when we read off the list of things that you've been to just in the past few weeks, you've been to Letchworth State Park, which is a couple hours outside of Ithaca Falls, Wells Falls, Lucifer Falls, and you made a return trip to the swimming hole at the Robert Tremaine at the Lower Falls.
Yeah.
So
And I go to Targanic twice a week. I almost don't include that one because it's just where I walk the dog.
right.
But like that's the great thing about living in Ithaca, right? Is that my local dog walk park is like one of the biggest waterfalls in the East Coast.
Absolutely. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, and it's been so impressive to watch the ice build at Targanic. I'm curious what happened today. Today, we're recording this on Monday and it's 40 degrees. So I don't know if some of the ice is broken up
And
around.
starting to see some more flow. And,
Yeah. I know on my drive over here, the canal had unfrozen for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you, is the Black Diamond Trail still covered in snow or was it thawed out?
It was kind of an icy mess.
An icy mess.
The
Okay,
last
good.
time that I was over there, which was last week.
So if I find another 40-degree day, probably not
Yeah.
warm enough to ride a bike on the Black Diamond Trail yet.
I think a lot of the snow had come off, and now it's just that bottom layer of ice,
Okay.
which I noticed is that's what my front lawn is like, and I'm close to the Black Diamond Trail. As I was walking across the lawn, I almost slipped.
Yeah.
Would have been 2 and 3 days for me.
Right. Well, make sure you let me know when that trail thaws out because I do like doing a winter ride. I think we last rode on November 3rd when it was like 35.
Yeah.
But it's got to be not icy.
Yeah, I think if we get another good snowfall that covers that again, I think if you've got some wide tires, you'd be all right.
Right.
But I think like at this point, there's just a layer of ice that's underneath everything because we've been so frozen for a couple of weeks.
Right. All right. So tell me a little bit about the Letchworth Park hike that you went on with our friend Andrew.
Yeah, that was a really good time. I've been to Letchworth a bunch of times. I'd never been in the dead of winter like this. A lot of the park is closed in winter, so you can't enter through Portageville or through the top of the park in Mount Morris. So you have to kind of come through the side. We went on MLK Day. We saw, I think, 3 other cars the entire time we were there. I thought we would see a couple more people, but we didn't. You can access the upper falls and the middle falls right now. The trail down to the lower falls is closed because it's a bunch of stairs down, which would be pretty icy. But we went on MLK Day. Was one of those days. It was like, I think the high was like 8 degrees. It was like bitterly cold. But I think and this is true of a lot of the falls around here. Is just like you don't have to put in a ton of work to get to them, which is really nice in the winter. So like we were able to park and like go explore the upper falls a little bit, and then like get back in the car and warm up for a few minutes.
That's clutch.
And like me trying to take pictures. So I've got my camera out. I immediately dropped my neutral density filter into the snow. So I had to take my glove off, which my hand went numb so quickly.
I can imagine.
But it was a lot of fun. Like we were, the middle falls had so much ice buildup. There's this big wall right next to the middle falls that the spray hits, and it's just huge icicles right now. It's blue. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the pictures were magnificent.
Yeah. There's the fountain at the hotel there, the Glen Iris Inn, that they keep on in the winter, and it builds ice up the fountain. I think they call it the ice volcano.
Okay.
It was like 8 feet or so when we were there on
and
Monday.
It just freezes, and then it just stops pushing water.
And then it was just like that week, it built up like almost twice the size by the end of the week because it was just so cold.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it was a really fun time. It's about a 2-hour drive from Ithaca.
Okay, right.
I drove over to meet Andrew at Watkins Glen, and we took the 90-minute drive from Watkins. And it was,
it's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad. And like, hanging out in the car, listening to some good tunes, get to see a frozen waterfall for a little while, get numb, get back in the car and warm up.
Right. For those of you don't know, Letchworth is known as the Grand Canyon of the East.
Yes.
It's apparently because it just has...
It's a huge canyon.
Yeah, huge canyon. Yeah.
There was one time I camped there in the summer a couple years ago, and I went to Letchworth and left there and drove down to the Pine Creek Gorge, which is known as the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. Mm-hmm. And it's always fun to go to 2 Grand Canyons in one day.
Yeah, right.
I don't even think you can do that at the Grand Canyon. So
right. That's good stuff. So you also went and visited Ithaca Falls, which is over in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And as most of us know who live in the area, who have lived here, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed by how icy Ithaca Falls was. I went on that Wednesday after MLK Day. There was a little water still flowing.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect, right? When there's just that little channel of water.
Yeah, but it was like, again, just like huge ice buildup. Almost the whole creek is frozen.
Yeah.
They're really thick ice too at that point. Like I walked out pretty far and felt pretty safe about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Don't do that at home.
Don't do that at home. I did have
I
did have my cleats on for that one.
Trained professionals.
Yeah. And we were just joking about this too. It's just like I did a bunch of these hikes, and then like Saturday I'm walking down Seneca Street and I just ate it on the ice. Like,
did you go down hard?
I went down hard.
Oh no.
My ass still hurts.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. That's like my worst nightmare because I've bitten it so many times over the years.
I don't think anybody saw me, so it's just mostly like a pride thing for me.
And pain.
I got a little snow in my pants, which is always exactly what you want as you're on your way out to dinner.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, I thought you had a little bit of hitch in your gait when you walked in. So
yeah, I think it's probably from that fall. I'm still sore.
I hope you recover soon and be careful out there.
Yeah.
So you also hit up Lucifer Falls.
Yeah.
What's that experience like in the dead of winter?
Yeah, Lucifer Falls is fun because you can hike you can't hike into the gorge trail at Robert Treeman in the winter, but you can hike up to the overlook that overlooks Lucifer Falls. So it's like, I think it's about 3/4 of a mile from the parking lot at the old mill. But yeah, Lucifer Falls was again very similar to Ithaca Falls, where it was like frozen, but just like a little water flowing, and Lucifer Falls being such a huge waterfall, just huge icicles, just like excellent ice buildup.
And tell me a little bit about, you mentioned earlier that you wore spikes. Is that right? You just have these spikes that go over your boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not crampons. I don't have crampons. They're just the micro spikes. I think a lot of people use like the Yak Trax like name brand version. I don't know if mine are exactly that. They might be. But those have been useful this winter, like particularly in places where there is good ice buildup. Like the added traction that those give you is huge. It's just making sure that you're not sliding down on your butt on a hill somewhere.
A requirement because you get the least amount of incline.
Yeah,
and you're gonna bite it. Maybe you should start wearing those around town.
Apparently,
when you go out to dinner.
Apparently, I didn't think that Seneca Street was the place that I needed to wear them, but that's apparently where I needed them the most.
Yeah, I'm sure you could adjust like how to drive with those on and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's probably okay, right?
Now, I'm more familiar with snowshoes. How does like snowshoeing differ from spikes? Like,
I mean, the spikes just go on your boots, so it's just like it's like a traction device more than like snowshoes like let you stay above the snow a little bit, not
so
sink
if you're
in.
in deep powder, that's like a foot deep. You don't want to sink in. You can wear the snowshoes and stay on top of it.
I've seen some hiking photos recently from the Adirondacks of people having to post hole it, which is just like a miserable experience in deep snow.
Okay, what does post hole mean?
You're kind of just hiking in deep snow. It's just like you're not following anybody's tracks. Like the first person is breaking snow for you.
And now, do those people have snowshoes on or no?
So, some of them carry snowshoes. I think doing the Adirondacks in the winter is not something that I've ever even tried. Like I'm not an alpine hiker in that way.
Right.
And post holing looks like a miserable experience. And I don't think I'm that fit at this point to do it. But snow, like if you don't want to carry the added weight of snowshoes, like I think it's just, getting through it. It's just walking in deep snow. It sounds exactly what it's as terrible as you think it is.
Good stuff. So what are you planning on doing in March or in February? I'm sorry. We've got 4 more weeks of February.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like an interesting time too. Like I think we're warming up a little bit. Like I said, today is over freezing for the first time in a while.
Yeah, this is normally our snowiest month, February.
Yeah, I bet we will get some more snow. Whenever the ice breaks up on any of these falls, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Okay.
Like I am looking forward to going to Tauganic on a warmer day. Like I was kind of bummed I couldn't make it over there today with my schedule, but to see some of the ice like come off the falls, like particularly from the viewpoint and not from down in the gorge, where it feels a little scarier.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a little worried about all this ice breaking up too, because we're going to get some flooding.
Yeah, no kidding. Absolutely.
The creeks are going to get pretty swollen.
Well, it'll make for some good photography at the waterfalls.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to what you have going on over the next month. And
we're going to make you come out with me again at some point.
Yeah, I know. It was like I was feeling kind of like in hibernation mode, but
yeah,
I feel like this month, hit me up again, and I'll see if I can get out there.
I've really had it on my radar to get over to Ludlowville Falls.
Okay, where's that?
In Ludlowville.
Okay, where's that?
just it's like part of Lansing.
Oh, okay, so not far from my house.
No, it's close to your house. Like,
okay.
That's why I was thinking. I was like, if I go that way, I'm definitely gonna make you come with me.
Okay, awesome. And then we can hit up Myers Park, and I can show you the lighthouse.
Yes, I do want to shoot the lighthouse. Shooting. I've never shot the lighthouse in Myers Park.
Yeah, and it's really
you got a really good shot a couple weeks ago.
Oh, thanks. I had a great time over there. I actually took some pictures of a fisherman that was over there, and I went over and talked to him. It was just the funniest thing. The guy has like a little half tent set up. He's got a little propane heater. He's got a chair. He's got his fishing pole. And he looked like he was so happy. He had a cigar. He was having a great time. I went over to him. The wind's blowing like 20 miles an hour. It's like 30 degrees out. And I actually said to him sincerely, I'm like, it's kind of nice out here.
Yeah.
Like I was all bundled up and we were outside. It was like breathing fresh air. It was kind of refreshing. It's just crazy how you can like dress for situations like that and it works out.
I was walking down my street yesterday, or on Saturday rather, and it was like sunny out, but it was like 16 degrees.
Yeah.
And I said to my neighbor, I was like, oh, it's like a warm 16 today.
Right.
I guess it's all relative, right?
It is. All right. Do you have anything else for our listeners as it's related to your frozen outdoor travels?
No, I'm interested to see how we make it through February. I'm hoping that it stays a little bit warmer. It was cool to be able to shoot all the frozen waterfalls.
Yeah,
I've seen so many other great pictures from around New York and the area of. There hasn't been a deep freeze like this in at least a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is my third Ithaca winter, and it is by far the coldest one.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, every month brings something different, so that's why we love it here.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, that pretty much wraps up another episode of the Pulse of Ithaca podcast. We realize you have a lot of options, and we thank you all for tuning in and spending time with us today. Big shout out to all of our listeners in Ithaca and around the world. You make this show possible. I'm your host, Pete, and of course, I've been joined by the ever insightful Mikey Swerves. We hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to doing it with you again soon. So if you have an event or a story or a local favorite you want us to cover, reach out to us on social media. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep your finger on the pulse of Ithaca and make the most of this amazing place we call home. Take care, everyone.